Alright, I'm Charlie.
I'm Owen Larson.
I'm Owen Neds.
I'm Kate Somas.
And we're going to be talking to you about why Flight Expo is important to us. So, question one is, why did you join Build a Plane?
Well, I first got introduced to Build a Plane by my dad when I was about 12. He just mentioned, he asked if I wanted to go build airplanes after school on Tuesdays, and I was like, sure. And so I came here for a session to try it out, and I just loved it. So I've been here ever since. I'm 16 now. I was 12 when I started, and I plan to be here till I'm 18.
Alright. So the way it started for me is my mom got a newsletter, and there's an ad in it about Flight Expo. So we came and checked it out. And I didn't end up joining the first session. I was 13 at the time. But I did come back the following session in the spring. And I've been here ever since. And at the end of this spring session, it will be 6 years. So.
I first heard about Flight Expo through my mom because she met Sharon and they talked about Flight Expo, and then my mom told it to me, and I've always wanted to be a pilot since I was little. So I thought this would be a great way to get introduced into aviation and help me move along.
How it started for me was my mom also got a newsletter, and in it was an ad for this program. So she asked me if I wanted to try it. I said yeah, it sounded pretty cool. So I showed up one day, took a tour of the place, and decided I would want to do that. And now I've been here for 4 years now, and I plan to keep going with it until I can. Alright, so question two is, what have you got out of or benefited from by joining the Build a Plane program?
I've benefited from this program by learning what people do in the aviation world, and this program will help me choose my career choice eventually.
For me, I have also kind of learned the same thing as him. I've benefited from it because it's shown me quite a few different career options in aviation. And prior to joining the program, I knew nothing about aviation, really didn't have an interest in it. But now it's kind of paved the path for me to end up with a career in aviation. So, and I also really find joy in participating in it and love the people in aviation. So.
What I've gotten from Flight Expo is just help with reinforcing my plan of becoming a pilot when I'm older, and getting to know a bunch of people that are already in aviation and really love what they do and want to help whoever they can get more introduced into aviation.
I'm similar to them in the sense that before I joined, I didn't really have an interest in aviation and didn't really know what went on behind the scenes or anything. And after joining, I've been able to learn more about what it is, and it's been able to lead me down a career path that I enjoy. And it's also allowed us to actually start flying as well through the flying club here that Flight Expo offers through the Build a Plane program. Alright, question three is, what would you like to see in the future of Flight Expo Build a Plane?
So what I'd like to see would probably be maybe it just expand bigger, like expand out of just Princeton and maybe more around Minnesota, or just get more students involved. Maybe get more equipment to teach instead of just building.
I'd like to see this program expand statewide with multiple locations all around the state, and then eventually into the nation with all states having this program. And I'd like to see people gain their private pilot's license through the airplane program that we have here. And I'd like to see students gain their A&P certificate by gaining their hours here.
I would like to see the flying club expand in this program because right now we're with one airplane, which is booked out pretty much all the time with me and Owen here flying. And just adding more airplanes or just adding a variety of airplanes, including tail draggers and tricycle wheels and stuff like that, would just make it so much better, because then we could get multiple ratings off through this program and just get more experience before we actually go off to college or wherever we want to go in the aviation careers.
So for me, it's kind of the same as all of them. I definitely want to see the program increase as far as people and capital and whatnot. I think it'd be really cool to have many locations eventually, but especially get more people involved, because right now the aviation community is starving for both mechanics and pilots and engineers and all career options in aviation. So I think it'd be really cool to see the program really promote aviation in that sense. And also what Charlie said about the flying program. Like he said, me and him fly, and I love to fly, and it's going to be a future career for me. So I would really love to see that expand too, and just have a really easy way for anyone to get involved in aviation, not just shut out to the people who are really rich and have tons of money to spend on flying, or just spend it because they have it and they want to just fly for fun. But for people like us who don't have tons of money and are really interested and have a passion for aviation, and we have an actual way to get involved with it. So.
Alright, so question 4 is, what skills have you received from joining the program? And now we've all been through the same program, so we've all kind of learned the same skills. Some more than others, but generally we've all learned about the same things.
So like you said, we've all learned the same things. And just a few of the ones I can think of off the top of my head would be riveting, welding, fabrication with different types of metals such as aluminum or steel. Different ways of drilling rivets and riveting, and especially when you're working with an aircraft, it's completely different than an automobile, for instance. It's a lot more fragile and whatnot. So I think we've all definitely learned skills in that area. Also, probably the biggest skill I think we've all learned is team building. You definitely learn how to work as a team when you have a goal and a time that you want to get it done by, and you're all doing your part to make that happen. So I think team building, and also just kind of retuning, or not retuning, but refining our skills in just being more proficient and consistent. For example, when you use a screwdriver, you just put it back where you found it, and then you know where it is the next time you need it, and just things like that. So.
Alright, so the last question is, why is Flight Expo important, and how does that tie into your future?
Flight Expo is important because it is preparing me for the future, my career in aviation that I would like to do. I'd like to become a commercial pilot. That's my ultimate goal in aviation. So, yeah.
So Flight Expo is important because it's getting me introduced and helping me get pushed along to my future career, which is also I want to become a commercial airline pilot.
Flight Expo is just important to me because it's brought aviation to the community in the sense that more people can actually get to it, instead of it just being a select few or people that had parents that were pilots. Instead, it's making it so everyone can have aviation if they want it. And it's just kind of led me down the path to actually pursue a career in commercial aviation. I don't know how I'll get there, what method, whether it be military or civilian, but that's my ultimate goal, is to become a commercial pilot.
And for me, it's kind of the same as what they said, but a lot of what Charlie said too, where I think it is important for a program like this because, like I said earlier, not all, well, most people don't have the funds and they don't even have the means in any way to get involved in aviation as we all have. And we are probably like most people, you know, we just heard about it from a newsletter or whatever, and now we're here, and now we all have futures in aviation, which we probably would never have had if it wasn't for this program. So I think it's really important in that sense because, you know, in the future this could help many, many people with future careers in aviation. And like everyone kind of knows, the aviation community is starving right now. Like I also said earlier, and that also goes along with the military, whether it be Air Force or Navy. They also need people in aviation as far as mechanics or pilots. So I think having just a good place to start, like Flight Expo, where people can come, you know, whether it be once a week or twice a week, and just get a sense of what aviation really is, and start building those connections, because that really is one of the keys to being successful, is making all those connections. And when you get involved and you're around people in aviation, it really makes it a lot easier. And as far as for me and my future, I think it's important, this program, because, well, I've not only learned tons of skills and whatnot, but I've also found a future in aviation, which I wouldn't have without this program. Right now I'm just deciding between military and also civilian. I'm kind of thinking about going military right now for a career.